Okay, a very good evening to all of you. Um, Me on behalf of Lorient Travels welcoming you to our Come Alive India series. This is the 11th episode and live travel show. We are currently going to be speaking to a very native of Corbett, as the subject today is the Corbett Tiger Reserve located in Nainital district in the state of Uttaranchal in northern India. The Corbett National Park is one of the best, in fact, the finest national park in terms of its location, beauty, and the variety it has to offer. It is located, as I told you, in Nainital district. It is of a size of 521 square kilometers. It has over 600 species of birds. It has over 100 varieties of plants. In fact, much more in terms of when you count grass, shrubs, flowering trees. So there's a huge variety. Besides, it has got 45 mammals, 25 reptiles, and these are just numbers. Actually, this is a moist deciduous forest located in northern India and is one of the oldest forest reserves in India. Uh, Today we will cover two parts. One is the Corbett Reserve itself, and the second part of our topic is going to be alternative tourism. What exactly is alternative tourism? Alternative tourism is a theme or a term that was created in the 80s, and it means that alternative tourism always involves local participation in any projects related to tourism. There may not be a travel agent or a tour operator involved in this project, but the good thing about it is that local involvement takes place directly with the tourist or the traveler. And what we are witnessing today is a form of alternative tourism when people set up their own homestays. And homestays are found abundantly in many parts of India and in different parts of the world as well. Especially in India, you will find it in Kerala, in the backwaters of Alleppey. You'll find it in Rajasthan, where many Havelis are converted into homestays. You'll find it in the interior part of Maharashtra. You'll find it in parts of Karnataka and many parts of Himachal Pradesh as well. So the term alternative tourism, though it is not used so frequently and so commonly today, and it is substituted by the words called homestay and sustainable tourism. Alternative tourism was meant basically so that travelers had a direct experience with the area they visited, and they interacted with locals during their stay, and they did not take any outside assistance. The main aim of this was to conserve the area, and so you find alternative tourism is very strongly prevalent in the forested parts of the world. It is found in the areas like the lower parts of the mountains, uh, um, the base camps of mountain areas. You will find it in eco-sensitive or eco-fragile areas, and the involvement of outsiders is restricted to the minimum. So we have with us an exponent, I would say an expert who has, perfected this art of alternative tourism very well. And the person I'm referring to is the person we are going to speak today. His name is Mr. Ramesh Suyal. He's a native of the Corbett area. He has 20 years of guiding experience in the Corbett National Park. He is also a well-trained conservationist. And besides that, 6 years ago, he started his own homestay, whereby he converted his home into a few rooms for travelers who would come and stay with him. So actually, if you really go to see, Ramesh Suyal is a perfect example of a person who has perfected the art of combining tourism, his guiding, as well as being a great host to people who come and stay in his lodge or homestay. It is called the Sparrow's Nest. I would now like to ask Mr. Ramesh Sial to speak a few words. And after that, we will start with a slideshow on the Corbett National Park, as well as then show you slides and images of the homestay of Ramesh, Soyal Sparrow's Nest, and then we will show you a few videos of the Corbett Tiger Reserve itself. So good evening, Mr. Ramesh, and welcome to the show.
Good evening, sir. Thank you.
Can you speak a little louder, Ramesh, and say a few words?
Good evening, sir. And lots thanks to making me part of this venture. And it's really acceptable things from our side. Lots thanks to you.
Yes, Ramesh, you have to speak a little louder, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you bring the phone closer. Yeah. So how is it today in Corbett? Is it very nice and bright and sunny?
Oh yes, Corbett is very good, sir. Last few days we got very good weathers here and very nice. Only early morning and late evening, little bit cold, but it's pleasant. During the day, it's very nice and warm.
So you have had a good rainfall this year?
We haven't had good rainfall, but it was, somewhere, manageable.
Okay. And how are the sighting been this season?
Oh, the season is getting very good, every parts, even we got 3 parts, those are right now open in Kobe. And so every parts got very good movements, presence of signs we can see there, their pug marks and claw marking, everything is there. So their numbers are also rising. So very good sightings, no doubt.
Okay. And I believe there are about now, when I visited the park in my first visit in 1996, there were about supposed to be 80 male tigers on the tiger census. But now I think there are
Yeah.
200, over 200 tigers, which is the
252 estimated there.
sub-adult onwards. 252 size. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have got 252 tigers in that is from the sub-adult stage, correct?
Yes, yes,
From the
yes.
sub-adult stage that are taken into the census.
Yes.
And in fact, I just wanted to know, Ramesh, is that how many elephants do we have? Over 1,000 in Corbett?
We got almost 2,000 elephants now in Corbett,
2,000
And
elephants.
yes, elephant
Oh,
numbers is growing rapidly here.
oh, wonderful,
And
wonderful.
yes,
So that's a very good figure, 2,000 plus.
yes, yes.
Okay. And that's very nice. In fact, you have some very beautiful trekking experiences outside the park, and then you have those jeep safaris. And it's such a fascinating park. I remember Corbett so fondly because I visited it on 3 different occasions. So I think I will now start with the slideshow, and we will talk about the park as we go on. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the title of our presentation is Charming Corbett and Alternate Tourism. I have already spoken to you and described both in a little bit with some details. We'll go to the first slide. Uh, the park is named after Edward James Jim Corbett,
Yes.
who was born in 1875 and died in 1955.
Yes.
This picture that you will find is at the Corbett Museum, which is just outside the national park. And I think Ramesh will tell us a little bit about Jim Corbett, because if we don't talk about Jim Corbett, then there will be something missing.
Jim Corbett was legendary hunters and he turned himself in conservation. So it was very interesting things. And also he was very keen about the local peoples.
Correct.
So he did lots things for the local communities in this area. By his times, this whole area was man-eating animals area. Tigers and leopard were active here. And Jim Corbett did, give them relax, because these man-eaters, they are picking the peoples. So people says them Gora Sadhu, you can understand the Sadhu means. So they loves and they respect with each others, and it was really very interesting. And
Correct.
I've been plenty of times in that uh, Kaladungi, where these pictures are taken from Kaladungi. Kaladungi is the place where that nice museums, as his, it was mostly his winter house.
Correct.
And yes, interesting things is, that is the place where Jim Corbett did his first hunting. When he was 10 years, 15 years age, he hunts leopard with his brothers. So it was very interesting things.
Correct. In fact, I think Jim Corbett, that I read about him, he was most of the man-eating tigers that were in the Kumaon region
Yes,
and the Nainital region, Gadwal region,
yes,
and in the lower Himalayas, is that Jim Corbett was the man who came to eliminate the man-eating tigers.
yes.
And I think he was almost, as you say, he was called the uh,
Prasad.
Gora Saab, or the white sir, like you can say. Or, he had a good respect among all the
Yes,
villagers.
yes. He
And later
he
he
is a
turned into,
large-hearted. We always says to him, he was large-hearted gentleman. So
correct,
he lived his life very simply for the local peoples in that area.
correct, correct. In fact, I think in his whole lifetime, he missed, there were many tigers that he was able to, eliminate, but I think a couple of tigers escaped.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he was a perfect marksman, and
Oh yes,
he used to go
yes,
to the forest all alone by himself. And when he used
yeah,
to, eliminate the man-eating tigers who
yes,
had killed many of the people that were living in the park itself,
yes,
in those
yes,
areas. So this is a picture of Jim Corbett with uh,
friends.
tigers that he has shot.
Yes,
And you can see that he's standing there. There was a very famous, to his left hand side, you will find a dog. And
yes,
that was his very famous dog that lived with him for a long time.
yes.
And I think used to accompany him as well sometimes.
Oh
To
yes,
his right is, I think, the person who is kind of an assistant or a helper. But
yeah,
by and large, Jim Corbett preferred to hunt in a forest all by himself because he
yes,
believed that in panic, sometimes a person would shoot
yes,
the next person standing next to him because
yes,
encountering a tiger is is not an easy task.
yes,
So anyway, this is Jim Corbett, and this is also a picture from the same museum.
yes,
This is the place in Nainital where Jim Corbett stayed for some time.
yes,
This is his bedroom, in fact.
yes,
And that is the nice thing about Jim Corbett. Many of his personal items are preserved,
yes, yes,
including
yes.
the cups of tea that he drank tea from. Those cups can also be seen.
Yes. It's a
Uh,
Garni house picture.
this is, sorry,
Garni house picture that was.
yes, this is the place where he resided in Nainital, and
Yes,
I was with my guests here
yes,
on a tour. And before we enter the park, this is a little bit of information about Jim Corbett. Let me
yes,
tell you that the park was declared a tiger reserve in the year 1936. So it is one of the oldest parks in India.
yeah,
Now, when you enter the park, I think Ramesh will agree, these are the pug marks of a
tiger. Yes,
tiger.
yeah,
And a lot of us, generally, when we enter parks, the first thing we see are pug marks. And this is
yes,
a pug mark from the Corbett Tiger Reserve that I have taken on my
yes,
visit in 2009 or 2010, I think. So you see that when you see this particular pug mark, Ramesh, you have different pug marks for male, female, right? That's how
of
you
course,
differentiate.
different marks and different their sizes, and also interesting things. We when I am entering into the park, I am saying, I am trying to find 9 sign their presence. So this is one of them, and this is very important things. By this pug marks, we are going to know their numbers also in our old technology, how many numbers they are, and also we can know their sex. Male, females, even we can know about their age, mature, immature, sub-adults, all these things. So pug marks are really very important when
Correct.
we are seeing in forest, so we can know plenty of things by a small thing.
Actually, the thing is that with in forest, pug marks and the calls are the best signs to
Of
locate
course, of course, of
a
course.
predator
Yeah,
like a tiger, a leopard, a bear,
yes,
or a wild dog.
yes,
These are the two telltale signs. pug marks and the call of the deer and the monkeys.
Yes.
So these are
Alarm calls give
yes.
good presence there. So,
The alarm call is almost a very perfect call,
yes.
because when the tiger or a predator is resting, the calling will stop.
Yes.
It's only
Yes.
when the predator starts moving or
Moving.
walking, that is the time the call will start again. So you must
Yes.
remember that when the calling stops, the
Yes.
predator may be very close by, but it is for in all probability resting and will probably not get up for the next 20 minutes.
Yes.
So alarm calls are the perfect sign, but
Yes.
pug marks are also, as Ramesh will agree,
Definitely.
are
Definitely.
the best sign of the presence of a predator on a safari.
Yes.
Now this is the marks
Claw
that
marking.
sorry.
Claw marking.
Yeah, this is the
Claws mark.
claw marking that a tiger does to mark his territory. So now this is taken on a tree,
Yeah.
and Ramesh will tell you that tigers always have a territory. And what is the
Yes.
size of a territory in Corbett, Ramesh, for the tiger?
Tiger is solitary behavior animal. So for guarding their area, they have to mark their area. Otherwise, if they will not do mark, then conflict will be become more. So in that, they can lose also their life. So many places we can see, that's why I am saying 9 sign their presence. So this is also one second very important signs their presence. They are doing in trees, and also if you will be see in this tree, you can see also some mark here, and so that's look like their urine spray marks. So when
Urine.
they marks territory marks, so they do also urine spray there.
Correct.
So it's a very important things in our forest,
Correct.
and you can know plenty of things by that,
Now, what is the area that one tiger normally takes? About 30 square
Corbett,
kilometers?
Corbett, Corbett guy is getting very high density now,
Correct.
and also prey is very good. Normally, when we came in this field, so we knows, they are going to occupy 25, 20 square kilometer area. But last long 10 years, I am going to see huge changes. And in a small forest, I am going to see 5, 6 tigers. So I am going to estimate it around 6 to 10 square kilometer will be one tiger territory now in
Oh,
Corbett.
okay. Okay. So the territories are going smaller.
Yes, territory is going smaller because the numbers are increasing. In 1973, when we people thinks about the tiger projects, and we started tiger project, population was 81, and
81.
forest size was same, and population was 81. Now we are going to 400 time more, almost like a
Yes.
252 tigers now we got.
200.
So if definitely their number rapidly will be go up, so definitely their habitat will be get less and lesser, but prey density is there, water resource, these all things are going to base. If prey density and water resource are there in good, then definitely territory can be smaller.
Correct. So I think they are beginning to adjust to smaller,
Yeah, yeah.
areas.
Actually, nature is going to pressurize to everyone to move accordingly him.
To
If
adopt.
not, then problem is there.
Correct.
So definitely, they animals knows, how they have to survive all these things. So their territory is getting lesser every year.
This is the spotted deer, and one of the most common sights of all Indian parks. And you will see that the antlers are very well grown,
Yes.
and it's a very healthy spotted deer. Spotted deers are the prey of many wild animals. And in most parks, I think in Corbett, how many spotted deer do we have? Over 10,000?
So we got around 25, 20, in a small zone wise, if I will say, then like when I'm going to talk about the whole Corbett National Park, so it will be around 60 to 75,000 spotted deer plus. And but major zones, we got few zones, and in that 20 25 tigers in big zone, spotted deers are in big zone.
Yes. So we have basically we have got three zones now, right? We have got the
Yes,
Bijrani
yes,
zone, the
most
Dikala
important
zone,
zones,
and
old zones are 3 zones. Yes,
four zones. Correct.
yeah,
The picture I'm showing you here is of elephant grass.
yes,
Now this elephant
from
grass actually grows up to about 5 to 6 feet in
of course,
height, and is a very perfect camouflage for tigers and all the wild animals. So unless you're on the top of an elephant, you're not likely to spot a tiger or a leopard in this kind of grass. And actually, this is the reason why Corbett is such a perfect place for predators, because the grassland is mostly filled with elephant grass, bamboo, and shrubs, besides the trees that you get. So this is the normally the elephant grass is can be found in, I think, all the plain part of the park, right, Ramesh?
Yes, sir.
The elephant grass is quite common to the whole park, I think.
Not in whole parks, Actually, elephant grass mostly we can see very well in grassland habitat.
Correct.
So in Corbett, we got few very good grassland. So Dikala is one of the best place there, and where we can see very tall elephant grass. And rest of places we can see grasses are there. They are also native this forest, but they are not elephant. They are motha or other kinds of grasses are there.
Correct. Correct. And in fact, I just wanted to tell you something about Dikala, which is where most tourists are going right now. The chances to for spotting of elephants are best at Dikala,
Yes.
and normally you spend one night at Dikala itself and then come back the next day. So this is one of the few parks in India where you can actually stay inside the forest, inside the core part of the forest. And in Corbett, you can stay at Dikala, and then you can stay at a place called Garial, where there are small forest camps. And there are another two more places. I think Ramesh will be able to tell you.
Sultan and Sarabduli.
Sultan and Saratpuri.
Yes.
So these are government houses, and you normally do the sightseeing, the safaris from these surrounding areas after staying in these places during the night. And
Yes.
this is the unique part about the Corbett Tiger Reserve. And I think, Ramesh, you don't have it in any other park in India where you can
Yes.
spend the night in
I
the
think
core
this
area.
is single park, so who is going to offer that facility also to stay inside the lodges?
And in
And
Dikala, I think you can also do the elephant ride now.
yeah. Elephant rider is also there. Yes.
Elephant ride also. So it is one of the best experiences for
Yes.
tourists.
Yes. Moving by the elephant in forest, it's a totally different thing.
Correct. Actually, it's very good. It's a wonderful experience. Now, this is one of the rock formations that you see, and then you see these flowing streams and the mountains. These are just to show you the landscape of Corbett. And you see the variety of Corbett is that we will have the mountains, and the elevation, as Ramesh will tell you, is from 400 meters to 1200 meters.
It's if I'm going to see lowest part Corbett, which called Jirna zone, and that is going to start from 300 meter. And when I'm going to travel from 300 to up to the Dhikala, and top of the Dhikala is there is one place called Kada, and Kada is located around 1100 meters.
Oh.
So it's a getting totally different diversity from bottom to top.
So actually also the nature of the forest will change from 400
Yes,
to
definitely,
300 to
definitely,
1100.
definitely.
So you'll have different type of vegetation all the
Yes,
time. I
Sal.
just, sorry.
Mostly Corbett is known for this Sal, and but you will see, Sal is going to make huge changes in their trees, all these things.
See, besides Sal, there is a place, there is also Khair, Hindu, cannabis and Sign. So these are the different kinds of plants that you will get here. This is something that
Lantana.
I have read and I thought I
That's
should
a
share it.
lantana. Lantana. That's a
Ah,
lantana camara. It's came back around 100 years in India, and now it's a huge problem for our forest
yes.
because it's going to kill our native grass. So every year we are trying to, dig out the root, all these things. But unfortunately, it's widely going to spread everywhere, and many birds those feed the seeds, and also they spread themselves one place to another place.
Ramesh, I wrote an article in I think about 20 years ago after
Yeah,
my visit, and the article was titled In Search of Elephants. But you will
yeah,
never believe the first sentence of this article
yeah.
started with, you see the lantana bushes destroy the forest.
Yes, yes.
That's
That's
why
why I
ever
said.
so often they need to be cut down. And this
That's
is
why
what
I'm
my
saying,
guide told me that time, you know,
yes,
this is the
in
lantana
100
problem.
years back, 100 years back, someone bring in India, and that time it was in-house plant, and now widely spread everywhere.
Right.
So it's
So
such a big problem for
it's a
our
huge
part.
problem, the lantana forest, lantana bushes. I
Yes,
think that's one of the biggest problems. Well, I hope we are able to solve it soon.
yes, they are trying in their level best.
Uh,
Somebody,
this is the sambar deer. Actually, this is the most common prey for the tiger. That sambar by nature does not move too fast. It's quite a slow animal, and tigers are they relish this particular animal. The sambar can be easily hunted down, though it is quite huge, and it gives a very good fight.
yes,
But the probability of bringing the sambar down is quite good in most forests. Um, then here we come to the elephants,
yes,
and these are the domesticated elephants in the Corbett Reserve, and you can see the trainers are with the elephants that are being bathed and washed every day, and this is quite common. Actually, all the mouths have their own elephants.
yes.
Uh, as Ramesh was telling us, there are over 2,000 elephants inside the park, inside the tiger reserve today.
They are rapidly growing and also doing very long migration.
Correct.
Grass,
Now there is something that I read a long time back. Now what you see here is an elephant all by itself. Normally you would know that. What does it signify when the elephant is all by itself, Ramesh?
sorry, sir.
What does it signify when the elephant is all by itself? Is
Oh,
alone.
on by itself.
Yeah, it's alone. It's alone. Sometimes it is in mass. No.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Actually, that's a very interesting thing. So, forest is giving you every time's different feels, and they do that things, and they moves also very long by the times from their hearts, and also when their must is coming out, so that times they are also dangerous for the peoples, and so only thing is that we have to keep in our minds, make the balance between distance animals and humans.
Correct. It is said that the elephants, the brain of the elephant, it grows as it becomes older. The size of the elephant's brain becomes bigger.
uh yes, actually one side we can say this thing, and another side uh yes, old elephants they are really wise with the big brains. Yes,
Actually, they are able to learn till the end. That's why they
yes,
are.
yes.
So that is
They
because
are
the
very
brain is
quick learners. If you will be seeing forest to them, you will be see they are very quick learners,
correct.
and in a small time they are going to learn many things. Even they can, if they are getting any bad intention from any place, yeah, anywhere, so they are quickly going to abort that area. So they are very quick learners. I will say they are very quick learner, and they learns, and they got used brain in their mind, and also they got used their memory. If anything,
Sorry. Yeah, they are quick learners as well. And the next slide I'm going to show you is about this elephant
grassland
herds.
animal. Yes, yes,
Okay. Uh, there is something about the elephants is that there is a question I have to ask you is, do elephants talk? You
oh
know,
yes,
elephants do talk because they send out signals.
yes, yes. Oh, they are very interesting thing animal. uh, I was yesterday talking with someone's, how intelligent they are, and they are going to contact with each other in 6 or 7 kilometer distance by their stomach noise, all these things. So like this, grassland is big. They are going to spread one side to say another side because they are busy in feedings, and when they are getting long way, so they are going to contact with their, by the stomach noise. So they do very good dialogues with each others, and immediately if anything is getting wrong with anyone, so all are going to gather in one place. So very
Correct.
sensitive, very social animal they are.
Very social. Correct. They are actually, they use low frequency calls.
Yes, yes,
and that cannot be picked up by the human ear, but they can speak
yes,
for long
yes,
distances, these
yes,
calls.
yes,
Okay, so that's why elephants are a very social animals, as Ramesh says, and you will always find them in herds, 20
yes,
to 40